Hey guys, I'm reporting to you from Fargo, North Dakota.
We'll travel for vegan food.
I arrived just 1 week ago and I'm already pleasantly surprised not only with the vegan options and the neat vegan community here, but I'm super impressed with the startup and entrepreneurial scene as well. But on to book writing. Well, I've got about 8 weeks left before the first full draft of my manuscript is due, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't feeling the pressure. I would have liked to have gotten a lot more done in April, but I was honestly experiencing major internal resistance. Every time I sat down to write, I would get a few paragraphs out and then spend the next 3 to 5 hours reworking those few paragraphs. And even though I was darn proud of those paragraphs when I finished them, they didn't do much for the overall content, obviously, of the book. So I'm changing my strategy and trying much harder to be less nitpicky over every word and focus on creating as much content as possible so I can then go back through and nitpick, and well, that's what the entire editing process will be like anyway. In related news, I find that half the time I'm writing, I get really emotional. Sometimes it's just because I'm reliving those amazing experiences and become overwhelmed by thinking of all those little things that added up to this grand adventure. The past week in particular, though, it's been a little different because I've been revisiting a particular time frame of the trip that was highly emotional. It's what also led to a gigantic life shift for me. It was the introduction of a new friend who essentially completely changed my outlook on life, and it also is what led me to continue to the road trip by myself. Until revisiting this particular part of the story, I hadn't realized just how much I pushed that time out of my mind. I honestly thought I had worked through it and learned from it, but it became quickly apparent that I had suppressed much of the emotional side of that experience. But as my accountability partner has reminded me, writing is free therapy, so I'll continue to work through it, hopefully grow from it, and provide you with a story that maybe will also change your life. In the meantime, I'm curious, for those who are writers out there, whether you write for yourself or for a living or for fun, how do you work through those emotional pieces? Do you have a process or just kind of go with the flow? If you know anyone who might have a few words of wisdom to share, please pass this video along to them so they can leave a sweet little comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on Adventures in Book Writing.